Or underneath Marvel at the moment. Have you had time to take a breath there, Morsey?
Not much actually. I mean, what a game. I mean, it's everything like sport in some ways for throwing up something. We came in tonight and not knowing what was going to happen, and we saw an extraordinary game of cricket and an unbelievable innings by Maxi.
Tell us about it. I mean, that's an innings that everyone here tonight will remember for a long time. How does it feel to coach him, and what were your instructions to him when he went out?
I mean, it's an innings. It's one of the innings. Max, you'll remember certain innings he plays in his life, and he's played some extraordinary innings. The World Cup one is probably the one that everyone will always remember. But this was another innings like it was of that sort of bracket where basically everybody at the other end, all our top order, got out. Of which, when we had the 10 over break, went out there, and if I'm honest, Max is cooking. He's frustrated because no one can stay with him, and I think in some ways that frustration, he used that to take him to whatever that place is you go to, which is a higher place as a player, which you can't always get into, but he got in somewhere. He got in somewhere, call it the zone, call it what you like, but he got where he's playing at a level of cricket that very few people can play. And have the sort of bravery to take every ball, more or less, you know. Usama got nearly a standing ovation for walking off five for a 5-ball duck. Putting on how many United with Maxi. But it was extraordinary. Some of the shot making, but it was calculated. That was a brilliant part about it. It wasn't just swing and have a go. He checked the field, he switched it a couple of times, he played one shot off Will Sullivan straight 6, where he just held his shape beautifully, which was as technically good a shot you could play anywhere. And he played some shots with Maxi, the one over the offside when he broke his wrist through it. But I've watched a lot of cricket and I've seen a lot of games, and I've not seen an innings like that. So it was a privilege to be there. I would say anybody who's watched it, it's an innings you're always going to remember and you tell your kids about.
Tell us about what the message was halfway through the match as well. Obviously, Maxi had taken us to a total that was competitive, but what was your main message to the bowlers, and how pleased were you with their execution once the fielding innings had started?
Well, I think the bowling style, and last game was a great one for the bowlers. Bowlers had a hard time of it towards the start of the tournament. I've always got it right. And credit to Clint Mackay, who works with them all the time. They had a big meeting before the last game in the MCG when we played the Sixers. And they made some really clear plans. They were really trying to simplify as a group what they wanted to do. And in many ways led by Pete Siddle. Pete's come in, he's been, he's like a Benjamin Button. He's bowling quick, he's bowling well. And everybody bought in, and we really created some great pressure. We played the Sixers to take us home. And what the message today, I think, from the captain was this was going to be a defining win for us if we could win tonight, because of the position we were in with the bat, an unbelievable performance by one of our players in Maxi, and we had to bowl well because it wasn't a bad pitch. But we bowled beautifully tonight. I think every bowler that came on created pressure. We bowled in partnerships. We fielded well, so it was a complete performance, which is what we've been looking for all the way, really. In the field, that is, it wasn't a complete batting performance. It was a stroke of genius by one of our players, really, supported by the tail. But it's a bowling performance and a fielding performance. It was very good.
And then your message to fans, that we had amazing support here tonight. It almost was a 50-50 crowd. Your message to fans ahead of that final home game where it might all be on the line for a final spot.
Well, they stuck with us. That's my biggest message. So I thank them for their loyalty, because it was a tough start. They could have walked away, they didn't. And I said the same to the players. We kept strong, we kept doing the work, and we're getting the payback. I think sport is like that. If you stay tight and you basically keep doing the work, then eventually you'll start to get results. And this is a sort of bit of a long-term project in some ways. We're trying to turn ourselves around as a group and as a group of players to start to bring success to the Stars. And after having a few years really, it's not been happening. That game is now a massive game against the Hurricanes. I'm hoping we can create the atmosphere we have in the last two. When we played the Gage there last 2 games ago, it was 40,000, it was humming. Not quite as many on the last game, but the noise was just the same. And I think it was Pete Siddle knocked Silky's off stump out, and the crowd went mad. And the moments, what I know is when the players come back in, what they talk about the buzz of it, the excitement, and how much better it makes them play really when they get that sort of support. So I'm hoping people will come. I'm hoping when they come they make some noise, they wear green and we go for it.